Good morning, everyone. Happy Supercharged Manifesting Monday. Welcome to the start of another week. As always, I'm happy to be here with you guys. Ladies. I'm happy to be here with you, ladies. And I know we have a few amazing gentlemen that join us every Monday morning. I'm happy to be here. It's the start of another week. I'm back home. Jamaica was everything. As Christina Maria would say, it was everything. With no H, like a true Jamaican. It was amazing. And I'm really excited because this morning we're talking about prayer and manifesting. And hang on a second. Let me jump over here. Oh, Totlin, thank you. So for those of you that are admiring my necklace, my amazing guy had this and many others, actually like a lot of jewelry waiting for me when I got home, and I absolutely, of course, this is on brand, so I chose to wear this one today. So Mr. Tony, if you're watching, thank you. I love it. All right. Good morning. I see everyone. Yay. Oh my gosh. Look at all these beautiful people joining us this morning. I see all kinds of eagles and elites and family and friends and all of it. And our regular every Monday morning, I know that if I show up, you're going to be here. Mwah. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So we're talking about prayer and manifesting. And just so you know, I have content planned. Like I have a document where I have all these ideas of things that I want to talk about already. Just as they come to me, I put them in this document. And then during the week before on Monday, I'm like, okay, this is the one I choose. But this topic literally came from out of nowhere. Yesterday, very unlike me, it was probably yesterday afternoon before I got to typing up what I wanted to say. And, I trust that this came to me because I need it. I need to be reminded of it, but more than anything else, that it is just a message coming through me for all of you. So we're in this boat together this morning, and I just want to thank you for all the compliments on my necklace. Tony's going to be so happy. And I just want to make sure that everyone's here and settled in. So let's talk about the definition of prayer, the way we understand it. I know most of you are probably like me, and I said this in my email. Growing up, I was raised in a very Christian family, and just the traditional, way of being is that you said a prayer when you woke up, you said a prayer over your meals, and you said a prayer before you went to bed. And that was, just growing up in a Christian household, that was my understanding of prayer. It was just a thing you had to do. Like, thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you, God, as I go to sleep. In fact, there was a little prayer that we all said, and I'm sure you all know it. It's like not in my mind right now, but I feel like every little kid said this prayer before bed. I remember it saying, as I lay me down to sleep, something. So if you all know it, type it in the comments so we can jog our memory of that little prayer. And then I grew up, obviously going to a Pentecostal church that was prayer was very, you're a bad person, you're a sinner, and you need to just constantly pray for redemption. So it was more, prayer became this thing of pleading for forgiveness, and it just always, it implied that I was bad and wrong, and therefore my relationship with the supreme being or God, whatever your understanding is of that, was one of, this relationship is all about, will you please, 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 please forgive me? I am bad. I did another bad thing. Will you please forgive me? And so prayer growing up for me was not honestly very positive. Then I went into young adulthood, and, all of us go through this. Your back's against the wall. In fact, I see my kids doing this right now, and I just have to laugh. I'm like, God, whatever way you take us there, your back's against the wall, and you figure out prayer real quick. Like, dear God, please help me. Please, please, please get me out of this situation. And that was like, again, now the next layer of praying. It was, please just help me, help me, help me. I've done something bad, or I need to get out of this situation, or it's just life is overwhelming, and can you help me? So you can see for most of my life, and I feel like there are many of you. Oh, I feel like there are many of you that can relate. Thank you. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. There you have it. I have goosebumps everywhere. I literally just became 3 years old again. That's probably the first prayer I learned. And so, yeah, it was Paulette says, I grew up in a very strict Christian home, and prayer was really either just very basic, please forgive me, or dear God, help me. And so I see that there are many people who are now well on their manifesting journey and still praying in that way. And you're missing a really powerful piece of your spiritual beliefs and it being implemented in the manifesting process. So 2 definitions. To manifest is to acknowledge that you have a desire for something that's not here in the physical, right? You have a desire for a change in your finances, for a new relationship, for a new home, for a better job, for a thriving business. And you're not in the physical experiencing that right now, but you acknowledge that you have the desire. And so manifesting is the process of taking it from that desire, from being out there in the universe, and bringing it into your physical experience, where in the present moment you can touch, feel, and say, look, I now have a thriving business. I have an amazing relationship. I have more money in the bank than I know what to do with, right? You bring it into the physical. So it's a process of going from non-physical to physical. And this process is created by you. It's you. Let me just say this and remind you before I go on. It's you that has all the power to do that. Like, in case you forgot, that's how powerful you are, right? So that's to manifest. To pray. What does it mean to pray? There are actually 2 parts of the definition of prayer. And on this manifesting journey, as you grow in understanding how powerful you are, you have to go from the first meaning, which we learned as kids and through our teenage years and our young adult years, into we know who we are and we know how powerful we are. We know what we're capable of. So we have to change the way we pray. Just like the way I wrote composition in first grade is totally different than how I journal today at 47, I think, 47 years old, right? What little Tasha was writing about and how she wrote at 6 is totally different than how I write today. Same thing with prayer. Prayer, the first part of the definition, is to ask for help. It's a request for help. And most people are still, when it comes to what they want to manifest, dear God, would you please help me manifest this thing? How many of you can relate? How many of you like, you know what, Tasha, you are right. I see that I still do that. Most people, it's like a begging and a pleading for this thing that you want to create when you pray. And here's the piece that you miss about that. That is from your child, like part of your journey. That is like the very basic. We have evolved beyond that. When you are praying and pleading and begging, and it's a request for help, you are putting your attention on the lack of the thing you want to manifest. The moment I go into, dear God, would you please, 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 please give it to me? What I'm saying in that prayer is I don't have it. Have you realized that? Like, what you're saying is I don't have it and I need it. And can you help me get it? And your attention in that kind of prayer is on lack. And manifesting is all about, where is your attention? Is your attention on the absence of the thing? And so many of you are like, Tasha, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? The fact that you're asking the question in that way is the point. You're putting your attention on the lack of the thing. You're putting your attention on you're doing something wrong. Right? So start to think about it in this way. Here is like the grown-up manifestors, us, you all in the money family. Here's how what prayer means for us. It's an expression of thanks. It is a thank you. And this is how I pray now. It's no more, dear God, would you please, 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 I'm begging, would you please give this to me? It is now an expression of gratitude, of thanks. Dear God, thank you for blank. Whatever it is, I am manifesting because I am the one who decides. I am the one who creates. I am in partnership with God, universe, source, who makes it all that like that part of how it happens is not my part, but my part is to acknowledge a desire and to say thank you that I have received it. Right? So the basics now, I'm just going to start there, is we have to go from please give this to me to thank you. Thank you that I have received it. Everything that you are seeking to manifest, to bring into the physical, when you pray, which is the most powerful act that you can do, especially those of you that have strong Christian or spiritual beliefs, is to pray a prayer of thanksgiving. God, source, universe, whatever your belief system is, thank you that I have received this thing. Can you guys see the difference? I'm hoping. Yes. So we should say thank you for having it already. Absolutely. An affirmative prayer with gratitude. Thank you, Barbara. That is the way that we should pray. Thank you. Thank you for receiving it. So I'm going to give you 3 things about prayer so that you can just, embody this for this week and going forward. And my prayer is that because of this conversation, the way you pray will change forever. So number 1 is when you desire to manifest something, pray in thanksgiving. Pray in thanksgiving. Not God, please help me with my finances. Instead, the prayer is, God, thank you for my great finances. God, thank you for my great finances. Not God, please help me with my finances, but God, universe, source, I thank you for my great finances. Thank you that, everything with me financially is well. Thank you that every day there's more money coming to me than I had in the past. Dear God, thank you for sorting everything out for me so easily. Dear God, thank you for all the financial opportunities that you bring to me. It's always in Thanksgiving. I love it. Amawami. Thank you. Always in Thanksgiving, right? Barbara says, thank you for bringing Tasha and Diane into my life. I love it. Number 2 about prayer. And this is another thing that I hear so many people saying, prayer without works is dead. So there's 2 parts of this, right? There are people who are very strong in their Christian walk. When I tell you their praying is like you could sit and it would be, honestly, like you would just sit in emotional awe to watch some of these people pray. And then you look at their lives and there is not a match to the eloquence of their prayer, the way they are dedicated to their Christian walk. And then you look at the lives that they're living, and it's a disconnect. And I am intrigued by that because to me, one of the things that I understand about this is that my life and my prayer, one of my greatest prayers of Thanksgiving is, thank you, God, for making my life an example of what's possible when you bless us. That's my greatest prayer. Like, I want people to look at my life and know that I have an amazing relationship with God, that I pray a lot of thanksgiving, that I receive a lot of blessings. I don't want anybody guessing. Like, you don't even need to know how I pray, what I say, if I'm Christian, if I'm not. All I want is for you to be so intrigued by my life that you want to know, what is she doing? And then I get to tell you, this is how I pray, right? So one of the things that like I said, the two parts to this prayer without works is dead, is that there are people who pray eloquently, but the actions in their life are not present. And then there are those people who are saying, Tasha, I'm doing all the right things. I'm journaling, intending, I'm grateful, I visualize, I do all the right thing, which is praying, because to pray is to make a request, right? It's also when you say, I'm being grateful, I'm doing all this, it's an expression of thanks. But here's the piece that you might be missing. Prayer without action is dead. It's like your prayer lost its power if you are not taking action. I'm just going to let that be there, because there's a lot of people that will say, Tasha, it's not working, or Tasha, I'm doing everything. And you're doing one side of the equation. But remember, all of that, if there's no action, you can't activate the power of prayer in manifesting. You can say, thank you that I received great finances. But if you don't go let people know what you do for a living so they can pay you, you don't have a channel to receive. And so all the prayer in the world will not work in your favor, because you've not created an opportunity to receive the blessings. So you have to be in action for the power of prayer to really be activated, right? Okay. So yeah, there you go. All right. So number 3, pray without ceasing. We're told pray without ceasing. What does that mean? For me, it is always seeing the thing that I desire as done. Like it's always in my mind as done, and I just see it. I'm constantly just saying thank you for it, right? I see it as done. I walk around, it's like it's done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like always, that's just a natural way. My subconscious, my mind, my conscious mind, my way of being. It's like once I've acknowledged a desire and I've journaled and I've done all the things in prayer to say thank you for it, I just go about life always seeing it as done. It's done. And no matter what happens along the way, because we know that life happens for all of us. And there are moments where you're like, oh, I don't know, is my prayer going to be answered? Your prayer is always answered. It's always answered. It says, it is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. Pleasure. He knows what you want before you even ask for it. Why? Because you got created with the desires within you. Like you, from the moment you were born, your entire list of desires for your whole life was already inputted in you. So this is not like God's not like, oh, wow, I never realized Tasha wanted that, or Monica wanted that, or Marsha wanted that. Like you were created with those desires. So life and prayer is really about saying thank you that you have it. The moment you come to the awareness that you want the thing, but you are made with it. And the journey of life is you become aware as you go through different life experiences. Oh, I have the desire for this. And you continue with life and you're like, oh no, I have the desire for this. And the journey of life is just becoming aware of all the things that were placed within you at birth that you would experience during this lifetime. And so there's no need to constantly be praying to get it. Pray thanks that you have it. That's a major distinction. It is done. It is Tanisha, love this. It is my Father's pleasure to give me stuff. Yes. And especially you, Tanisha, because you know you are Daddy's favorite girl. I love it. We are all the Father's favorite. That's what's beautiful. It's an equal playing field. If you grew up with siblings and you're like, that one's a favorite, that one's a favorite, here in this realm, we are all the favorites. We get it all. We're all treated as favorites. Sometimes Paulette says, sometimes God answers our prayers, but not in the way you want it. We have to stay open and be aware. Yeah, I love that. Someone reached out to me recently and said, I've been working on manifesting this relationship and I got it. And then like things ended. And I don't know, it's like I messed up manifesting. And then she started to tell me about the relationship, and it was just so clear. And oh, by the way, there's so many of you listening that know I can see this a mile away because I've done this, right? So as she's telling me about the relationship, I'm like, I am certain that that was your prayer being answered. Actually, you might think it's not, but that relationship doesn't sound loving, healthy, wholesome. Like that person doesn't even sound like he wants to commit to you, right? So your desire for a committed, happy, loving relationship, your prayer for that is being answered by getting this person out of the way, right? So yeah, our prayer is always answered. And that's the growing up thing, is to look at the experiences and the appearances of life, and to be able to distinguish between, oh no, this looks like it's not working out for me. Actually, many times it is part of the working out for you. We have all done the prayer relationship thing and realized we must keep going on to the next one. There you go, Barbara. So 3 things, right? 3 things, if you all want to type it, about prayer, is you want to pray prayers of thanksgiving, right? Like a lot of you said, pray an affirmative prayer. Number 2, you want to remember to pray and take action. Pray and take action. Number 3, pray without ceasing. What does that mean? Always be seeing it as done and saying thank you. Just literally walk around everyday life, just thank you. It is done. Thank you, right? Always be seeing it as done and being grateful for it. There you go. I love it. 1 prayer of thanksgiving, pray and take action, pray without ceasing, always seeing it as done and being grateful. And I want to share, as I was getting ready this morning, I thought about one of my biggest prayer over the last 12 years. And many of you know my story. I know that we have so many new people because we have been enrolling for our Healing Money Trauma Intensive. By the way, congrats to those of you that are already signed up, and I get to spend this Saturday with you. I'm so excited. So congrats to those of you that are signed up. But I know that because we're in that enrolling process, there are a lot of new people that are coming into our family and may not know my story. So I'm going to just tell you this one little piece really quick. My biggest prayer coming out of filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, newly divorced, 2 kids, no income, massive fears about money. I mean, like sit on the kitchen floor crying everyday fears, not knowing what to do. And one of my biggest prayers was, God, please show me what I need to do. Show me, tell me, guide me, lead me. What do I need to change? What is it that I don't know that I need to know? Like, really, I mean, I was on, when you talk about bended knees about my finances, because I saw that if I didn't change it, that was going to be the legacy that I was going to leave for my kids, and so many of us are living the effects of our parents and our grandparents with money, good and bad. And I did not want what was happening in my life to be the thing that I gave to my kids. So I prayed. Talk about pray without ceasing. I prayed. And I know that over the last 12 years since I prayed that prayer, God has been revealing to me all the things, my money wound at birth, all of the traumas that I experienced in this lifetime around money, all the blockages that I had, all the limitations that I had in my thinking about money. 12 years of figuring it all out. I'm grateful to say that I'm in a much better place today, that truly my financial dreams have manifested and continue to manifest, but it took me 12 years. 12 years. I want to show you in 2 hours, everything that I learned, everything that I do, everything that I practice always, even when life happens and stuff comes up in my finances. I want to show you all of the healing work that I did to create the change that I have. So if one of your prayers has been to get some help with your finances, to figure things out with money, if you've been praying that prayer, action. Prayer without action, right, is dead. And so I'm inviting you to allow me to show you and teach you and heal for you the things that it took me 12 years to figure out in 2 hours. So if you're not yet registered for the Healing Money Traumas Intensive, it's this Saturday, June 11th at 12 Eastern for 2 hours. Hang on a second, I'm going to put this up. You want to go to this website and get yourself registered, moneytraumahealing.com. Moneytraumahealing.com. We're closing the doors because we have to get all of the worksheets and the links and all of that to everyone. So get yourself registered today. Just do it. Prayer without action is dead, right? So just get it done. If that has been your prayer for some transformation in your finances and you don't want to take 12 years like me, I can show you in 2 hours everything that I learn and I know. All right, go ahead and get yourself registered, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. I am truly intending, and I'm already grateful that this conversation has just opened your eyes to a different way of praying and how to use prayer as a part of your manifesting process. Just say thank you for all the things that you desire. Just constantly be in gratitude because it is done. It's already yours. Mwah. I love you all. Have a great Monday. Bye.